if you have degenerative disc disease or back pain related to arthritis, you are in the right spot. I am going to show you a quick 10-minute workout that you can do to loosen up those back muscles and make yourself feel so much better. But you have to stick with me for the full 10 minutes to feel the best results. All right, let's get started. So this workout is best done right in the kitchen, and you're going to get close to your kitchen sink to complete this workout. Okay, so when you are in the kitchen, and I want you to stand right up next to the kitchen sink, so your hands are up and you're just facing straight, standing up nice and tall. Okay, first, what I want you to do is I just want you to take just a small step back so you feel like you're reaching forward just a little bit. I want you to take a small bend in your knees, and I want you to really sit your bottom back. And then squeeze up tall. Think about your glutes. Small bend in the knees, sit your bottom back, and really feel a stretch in your back, and then stand up nice and tall. And again, sit your hips back, knees are just slightly bent, this is not a squat, and come up. Let's try 3 more. Make sure you're breathing while you're doing this. Reach back and stand up tall. Let's try 2 more. Reach back and stand up tall. Last one. Reach back and stand up tall. Now what you're going to do is you're going to walk your feet out. So you're about, 2 feet away from the sink. So you feel like you're on a little bit of a diagonal. And your hands are out. I want you to push through your shoulders and just stay right in this position. If you feel like you're kind of hanging down like this, I want you to sit your hips down, tuck them underneath, so you can feel that yourself pushing out, kind of tuck your stomach in, so you feel yourself as kind of in like a little bit of an arch. I just want you to hold here, and I just want you to take 2 deep breaths here. And then now I want you to bring one leg up at a time, nice and slow and controlled. I want you to think about bringing those legs up with your stomach muscles. Focus on bringing those legs up one at a time. Lift them up as high or as low as feels good to you. A lot of times the higher you go, the better stretch you get. And then for this last 15 seconds, I want you to see if you can pick up the pace a little bit. You're still pushing through those arms. Don't let yourself sag down. Push through your arms. Keep those stomach muscles in tight. Legs pulling up with those stomach muscles. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, so walk up out of that position. Hands are at the kitchen counter again. Feet are about shoulder width apart. Now we're actually going to go into a squat. And being at the kitchen sink can be very helpful. So now you're going to actually bend your knees. You're going to sit back and squeeze up. And we're going to try 12. Here's 2. Just go down as low as you can. Sit yourself back. A lot of times people are surprised at how far they can go down doing a squat like this. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We have 2 more after this. And last one. Okay, now we're going to go stand up as close as you can to the sink, but I don't want you to feel like you're sticking your chest out. I want you to kind of tuck your hips underneath so you kind of lose, especially if you have a big arch in your back. We're trying to kind of bring that back to a neutral position. Okay, find that position, tuck your hips underneath, and I want you to take your right leg, and I just want you to kick it straight back. And I want to challenge you not to touch the floor when you do this. and not to really lean over to the side. So you're just standing up nice and tall. Try to keep that chest down. Try not to puff it out too much. And focus on squeezing your glute on this one. 3, 2, 1. Now what I want you to do, take your left foot back just a little bit further. You're going to kick that leg straight back. You're going to bring that knee up and kick it straight back. Now the lower you go, the easier it's going to be. The higher you go with that kick, the harder it will be. So you're leading right with your heel, straight back, focusing right here. If you're feeling it in your back, stay up nice and tall. Try not to arch as you're kicking. And don't go as far. Just shorten the range of motion. 5, 4, 3, 2, and last one. Go ahead and stand up nice and tall. Kind of do a few marches. Shake out those hips. And now we're going to go to the other side. So now you're going to stand on that right side. And you're going to start by taking that left leg just straight back. Keep your legs straight and you're just kicking straight back. Focusing on your glutes, really squeezing. Look up nice and tall, kind of roll those shoulders back. Don't puff that chest out. And then we're going to take it to a kick in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now you're going to step back that right foot just a little bit. And now you're going to kick back with the left. Notice I'm not really moving my upper body at all. I'm staying nice and still, looking ahead. Awesome job. And let's try 6 more here. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, I want you to bring it back. Now I just want you just to go into a march. Just lightly hold on. It keeps yourself more upright. And you're just marching forwards, but I want you to think about tucking your hips underneath. And it's almost like you're squeezing your stomach muscles to bring your hips a little bit forward as you march. So I want you to think about pulling those legs up with your stomach muscles. And if you need to go a little bit slower, that's okay. But we're going to stick here for about 15 more seconds, especially if after a long time standing, your low back muscles start to feel tight. Tuck your hips underneath, use those stomach muscles, and march. That's going to take some relief away from those low back muscles, or some stress away, bringing you some relief. Use those stomach muscles, pull them up. 3, 2, and 1. Now, we're going back to the exercise that we started with. Both hands on the sink, feet are about shoulder width apart, and you're about a foot and a half away from the sink. You feel like you're reaching a little bit, but not too much. Slight bend in the knees. Sit back and really go down deep into this one. Hold for about 3 to 5 seconds, and then I want you to come up, and then I want you to repeat. Sit your hips back. Don't bend your knees. It's not a squat. And really almost try to get your head through your arms. If you can't because of shoulder mobility, that's okay. Just get down as far as you can. Really start to feel a stretch in your upper shoulders and in your low back. Let's just try 3 more here. Make sure you're breathing during this. Don't hold your breath. 2 more. And last one, stand up tall, reach back, feel that stretch in that lower back. Now on this one, you can kind of rock your hips a little bit side to side to get a little bit more of a stretch here. Okay, then I want you to come up tall. And now you don't necessarily need to hold on for this one, but I just want you to step side to side. Think about those core muscles though. Squeeze those muscles here, but make sure you breathe. So I don't want you to squeeze as hard as you can, and all you're doing is stepping side to side. What we're trying to do is avoid being in this arched position. So this whole time, I want you to think about bringing your chest in and trying to think about using those stomach muscles. And we're just stepping side to side for this one. This one's usually pretty nice to the back. 5, 3, 2, and 1. Now we're going back to that plank. Your feet, both hands are about shoulder width apart. I want you to walk your feet out just to a point where you feel comfortable, because we don't want to be out too far where you feel like you're sinking in. Find a position. I want you to push through your shoulders. Your arms should be straight. Tuck your hips underneath, so kind of think about a light squeeze in those stomach muscles. So you're almost kind of in a little bit of an arc, and hold here. Once you feel confident, use those stomach muscles to pull up one leg at a time. Really think about more quality here than speed. We're trying to loosen up those muscles, give them some relief, stop them from working so hard. And we're just going to stay here for another 15 seconds. If you feel this in your low back, think about your position. Tuck your hips underneath and squeeze. If you're sitting here with an arched back, then that will put a little bit more stress through there. Use your hips. 3, 2, and 1. All right, step up to the sink. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to just step back 2 steps, step forward 2 steps, step back 2 steps, step forward 2 steps. And I just want you to repeat this. Step back, come forward. Step back, come forward. Now, if you feel this on the way back, I want you to think about squeezing, light squeeze in those shoulder or in those stomach muscles. Light squeeze. Light squeeze. Light squeeze. Light squeeze. And let's just try 2 more. Stepping back 2 times. And last one, stepping back and then coming forwards. Okay, so now all you're going to do is just a very simple exercise that is really not going to flare up the back much at all. I want you to stand up nice and tall. Roll your shoulder blades back. Find a good standing position. Tuck those hips underneath just a little bit, and you're going to raise up and down. So you're just raising up and down on your toes. Nothing super extravagant about this, but we neglect our calves a lot, and so this one can just be one that can be helpful to loosen up those muscles. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now we're just going to move into balance before cool down. So what I want you to do is I want you to try to stand next to the sink, 1 foot in front of the other, just like this. Now, if this is hard, one trick you can use is you can stand in a corner of a counter or a wall, even works better. So you have support on both sides if you need it. So what you're trying to do is just stand here. You're looking forward. Once you feel like you are able to confidently stand here at least 10 seconds, what I want you to do is just raise one arm and then the other. Raise one arm and then the other. This is going to make it a little bit harder. If you need to, you can make your feet a little bit wider, and that's going to open that up. And now I want you to switch sides. So again, I want you to think about trying not to puff your chest out standing here. Keep it tucked underneath, a little bit tucked in. Try to stand, tilt those hips back. Just stand 1 foot in front of the other to start. Once you feel confident, about 10 seconds, I want you to add in those arms forward and back. Balance can be extremely helpful because all the muscles in your legs are working together at once. So it's something we definitely do not want to neglect. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, now we're gonna finish with one more set of squats because these are gonna really help to kind of stretch out that low back. So both hands on the sink about shoulder width apart, feet are about shoulder width apart. I want you to feel like you're reaching only slightly, and you're gonna bend your knees and sit your hips back. But I want you to bend your hips first and then bend your knees. And we're gonna do 10 more. 10, 9, hips first, then the knees. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, so you made it through this 10-minute workout. Hopefully you feel a little bit limber. If you don't feel perfect, that's okay. Adding this into your routine and really starting to make it consistent can really help to loosen up those back muscles and help to relieve pain. Now, if you are looking for the top 5 things that you might be doing in making your degenerative disc disease or low back pain worse, and you're interested in knowing what those are, there's going to be a link below. These are 5 things that people don't even know that they're doing, but might actually be making their back pain worse. So go ahead, check out that link below to find out those 5 things so you can continue to keep your adventure alive. Thanks for watching.